Hello, I'm Dr. Wendy Rowley of the Wonder of Human Design YouTube channel playlist. I'm sorry I forgot to adjust my window shade over there. I'm so wrapped up in doing this. So I have a little light bleed going back on my glasses, so forgive that. So this is episode 4 of the Are You Ready for Your Next Growth Period? And in this episode, we're going to ask, why should I do this now? I mean, she's given some explanation, but why should I do this now? Okay, better sell us a little stronger, Aliania. I'm just teasing. Okay, let's see what she has to say on why we should do this now. Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. Is Aliania of Cosmic Service, Palladian and Mother Sound, and we liked her joke. And because we have said before, everyone's selling something, right, on some level. Trying to convince you of something, somewhere. Okay, and we mean that with a chuckle and with a warm-hearted embrace of humanity, for we are enmeshed with the human family in this planet. And we're kind of, think of us as grandparents and parents of a planetary system. Okay, so why should I do this now? Well, we've given lots of far-out explanations, but let's give something really mundane and down to earth. Something that's meaty and anyone can hang on to. So in this paradigm that we've been discussing in this series, we've given a lot of far out reasons of things coming in the future and far, far evolutionary things. And we've also given some understanding of growth periods and when they happen and the different levels of them. And then we've also given some understanding of that you can upgrade a growth period into more benevolence, and that happens at the Great Shift, and we did an activation for that. And then we had a little exercise on how to get your soul engaged in that. But we didn't give a lot of explanation on why those things come in sometimes. Sorry, we're trying to find a space for the glasses where there's no curtain. And so why do we, let's just do this. So why do we come in sometimes and give pre-evolutionary setups? Why does this happen? And what does it do? And why does the Creator do that if you want to believe that this is from the creative source? So the Creator does this in percolations for spiritual people who are feeling the call for it, because it sets up almost like a soul prototype. There's a bunch of souls that are working the puzzle and are going to events and doing juicy evolutionary work on the earth at this time. And approximately out of, let's say, this one heard the other day that your population on the earth is what, 9 million, 9 or 10, no, sorry, billion? She was like, ooh, last I heard 5 or 6. And I think she was hearing they were saying 9 billion. And we're not going to go into that. Don't worry about that. But out of 9 billion people on the earth, it only takes approximately less than 1/8 of the population to bring in a new paradigm for humanity. So on the earth at all times, there's approximately 1/8 of the population of souls. If you can think of it that I'm a new soul, I'm having more incarnations, I'm getting more experienced, my personal power is being increased through the creative source, along with my life force is getting stronger within Gaia. I'm getting it. I'm sort of becoming more effective here on Earth. I'm doing my thing. And then there's evolution and growing and everything. And then there's large group evolution and planetary evolution. And so the system is kind of like, and then there's all these advanced people who have done all the work and figured it out and worked the puzzle and found their way to soul and la 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 la. And never judge yourself for where you are in your life, because, or in your now, or in your evolution, because it's a system. Just be happy with it, that there is this beautiful system, and find peace with it. So, and we said that for someone in particular, because they start to hear this stuff about those who are involved, and they immediately start feeling like they're less, because they're not evolved. How do you know? In this lifetime. That's why we said you can have a lifetime where you're really evolved, put information onto the Soul Mastery Christ grid, which is the highest level, and then you can come back and have an ordinary lifetime where you don't feel that. So you should never judge yourself on your evolution And that's why we say that. So regarding the energetic of why you should do this now, that there's always a percentage of people on the earth who are attracted to the soul work. And it'll always be 1/8 of the population, no matter the size of the population on the planet. And it's a formula, and it works. And it allows energies to begin to start to come down and be implanted into the paradigms. It allows some new information to flow through the grids because of some new humans that are now engaged in the new energy. It allows for people in future incarnations to start manifesting some of the gifts of the evolutionary phase of things they did earlier. And then that starts to become something that people think is normal, and they do, regarding their senses or their nature or creation or the way you see your world or whatever, however it manifests through whatever field it manifests through, whatever the divine intelligence directs it into, through people, through inventions, through consciousness, ideas, through however it unfolds, through millions of years of evolution. So that's why you might consider doing it now. Now, some people are afraid that these are corruptions of soul and this is all wrong. There's this one recently, saw a video go by on YouTube that was basically saying not enough people are turning to God, therefore they're picking up all of these other things, and people all over the internet like this one doing this stuff. And she was like, wow. And that's why people go around and shoot people who aren't like them. They shouldn't, I'd hate to criticize that person, but her personal feeling was, oh my gosh, you shouldn't say that. That's just polarizes people and works them up, and then someone gets a gun and goes and shoots someone like Charlie Kirk because he's doing it differently. So anyway, so sometimes it's a little scary to go out on the web and do things all on your own and say weird things and be a pioneer. But that's the way the system works. Think about it. Everyone who brought in new ideas and concepts was pretty much not accepted. But after they pass, people go back in and look, and it gets accepted. And in some rare cases, it gets picked up during the person's lifetime. But that's the system. It's kind of like what you manifest here now doesn't really affect all consciousness until farther down in the future. And by manifest, we mean bringing aspects of your soul and the creative source into your spiritual change bodies so that it become manifest through humanity. So that's the explanation we would like to give this day on why it's a good idea to do this now, why there is this ability on the earth to do juicy upgrades and evolution, and how it happens, and how it's happened through every master who's ever brought in work. And we're not saying this one's a master. We're just saying that they are conduits for information and for the divine intelligence of the creative source. And pretty much all the benevolent channels that you can sit in front of who are feeling kind of nice are pretty much working out of that level. And we hate to be critical, and we're not being critical. We're just saying you can tell. Feel in your heart. Feel in your heart, get up in your head, listen, be non-judgmental, and see if you feel any vibration there. That's one way you can discern truth. So that's what we wish to share this day. This one's like we're sounding a little critical, and we're like, no, we're just sounding, what's the difference between criticism and discernment? And we're asking you to choose discernment for your greater good. All right, peace be with you, and you are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do. We bid you adieu. And this is Dr. Wendy Rowley saying, okay, I'm going to contemplate that one, and peace be with you.